Hello, brothers and sisters around the world. Again, here is Pamandla Mboza. On our podcast today, we'll be talking or focusing on some of the issues that I think most of us maybe have dealt with or most of us are familiar with. Today, what we'll be talking about is how to deal with toxic people. All in our lives, we have met those kind of people, or we are now involved with such people which are toxic. Okay, what are the things maybe that you see or that you can recognize on a toxic person, but now this person is toxic, and how to deal with him? So we'll be looking at those things. Such people, some of the things that you can look or some of the things that you can notice about them, they are self-absorption or self-centered. Those people, they all want the attention. It's either your friend, it's either a family, or you are out, on an event or in a party, or there is just something that is happening. They don't give others a chance to talk. They are always the victims. They all want their attention. They're self-centered. Everything must evolve around them. You cannot do that without telling them. You cannot say that if they said, you cannot say it. Those kind of people. And also, number two, those people are very manipulative. Those people, they manipulate you emotionally. They manipulate you sometimes to feel some sort of you are not worth it. Are those people that they will say, no, but you were wrong. Even though you're not wrong, you must accept that you were wrong. So are those kind of people, they are very manipulative when it comes to emotions, which is, it leads to emotional abuse. To number three, they abuse us emotionally. They say things that will affect us emotionally in a negative way. It's either they body shame you, or it's either they talk bad about your clothing or about your family or about how you do things. You must realize that as we are people, we are very different. We don't do things the same, we don't look the same, we don't talk the same. So they will be highlighting all those things because of maybe you don't fit in some sort of a group or in some sort of a gang, something like that. So they abuse you emotionally. Sometimes they also do abuse you financially. Those kind of people, the toxic people. So when they abuse you, even physically, at sometimes. That in around South Africa we are facing right now the violence that is against women and children. Those are some of the things that are happening, that we must recognize and that we must stand up for. So number four, they have a tendency to create drama, or conflict. They don't have peace. Those people, even if you have maybe a step on his toes or in her toes, when you say sorry, they create a lot of drama. You see, where they are, there will be a fight or there will be a conflict. There will be words that will be exchanged. It's either between you and him, or it's just like that. So are those kind of people, they have those 4 or 5 things that you must look at. Remember the things that we counted that you must look at. We said that they are very self-centered, number 1. Number 2, they are manipulative. Number 3, we said they have they emotionally abuse you. And we said number 4, is that number 4 or number 5? And then we said they create drama. They create drama wherever they are. And also I want to mention this, they are very dishonest. They don't tell the truth. They are very, very dishonest, and also they deceit. If maybe you have a group of friends, you will notice when you are not around, he say this. When you're around, he talks about someone else. they are not honest. Honesty is not what they it's not one of the things that they value. So they always say things that are not true. It's either about you or about things just to get by. Sometimes just to be so that you can feel sad for her or for him. They are manipulating you by being not honest. So how do we deal with such people? There are so many things that we can count, that you can recognize that this person is toxic. So how do we deal with them? I think that's the question that you must ask ourselves, or that's the burning questions right now in your mind, that okay, I do have this kind of a person that I know who also have these kinds of traits. So how do I deal with him? So as a person, number one, let's look at this. Set your priorities. You must set your priorities. You might want to maybe you might be overwhelmed with their suggestions or call out them. You might be overwhelmed with that, but you must focus on setting the matter straight to them. You must be aware that as you set your priority, as you call them out, it will be your word against his word. So you must not focus on being busy, but you must focus on being productive on what you want to pass on him or her. So a toxic person want to get things their way. You must remember that when you engage with him in a conversation, and you might let them as much as you can. Maybe they will be the ones when you have called him to talk with him or him. You might be the one who's listening to her, even though you have called him, but I want to talk to you. There is something that I want. He might be the one who is talking too much, or he might be the one who is pointing out things, making noise, creating drama and all the stuff. So you must focus your energy on the things that truly matter, and let them have their things that matter less, and let them things that matter less. You must also prioritize those things. So when I say prioritize, you must focus your energy on those things that matter less, the things that you want to say, the things that do not make you feel well, the thing that this person is doing. For instance, you might agree for some cosmetic changes, but not to something that is deeply changed the nature of your task. So do not waste your energy and capital on every little thing. So remember this. I want to quote this: negativity will distract you from your goals. So don't entertain it. So as you sit with him, as you started first prioritizing, setting your goals, what you want to say to him or to her, know that you must not waste your energy on things that won't help. So number two, it is very important to document it. Document it, write it down. As you call him, tell him, I want us to talk, and I will be writing down each and everything that we'll be talking about. This will provide a record, not just to show to third party, but also for you. Additionally, you can also have important conversation in the presence of other people, if possible. If there is a third person that you trust, you can call that person, as you want to document this thing, to write for you, or to be there to listen for both cases. So always have other backup, can make you feel more confident in future discussions or conflicts. So it is very important that you have document, or you have someone there around. Let it not be just you and him, or you and her discussing the things that you don't like. So number three, as I've said, this one, documenting it, leading to this one, create a report, something that can help you to try to create some rapport. Try some maybe icebreaker. It is very difficult sometimes to start a conversation that it will make emotion escalates, né? So it is very important to just, when you are approaching him, try maybe in some sort of an icebreaker or a common topic. Start a conversation in a friendly, polite way. This can help set the tone for the talk and make the other person relax little, become a bit more willing to hear your points, né? So remember that while many toxic people can be quite frustrating, né, you must always remember those things, that just start a conversation in a light way, in a light way. So that was our number 3. So number 4, don't overpraise him. Don't overpraise him, because of when you overpraise him, she or he will gain confidence. He will gain confidence. That is why most of the toxic people do not see anything wrong when they are doing these kinds of things, because they are being praised and they are being overpraised, which is they don't see anything wrong with them either maybe abusing one of the friends. So even though you might want to better the person up a little bit, it is important to stay firm and avoid giving too much praise, feeding her or him, feeding their ego. Doing otherwise might make the other person feel less willing to compromise. So avoid being false and instead try to find a detail or a trait that you can complement with authenticity, to be diplomatic, but don't force yourself to praise them all the time. Please don't praise them. You know that is why in our society we have people that are very toxic to the community because of they are being praised. The wrong things are being praised. Wrong things have been given the spotlights, even in the media, even in our televisions, right now, even in our radios, all around. Wrong things and negative things have been given the spotlights. They are no longer positive things or positive people. So that was our number 4. So number 5. Say no clearly. A toxic person is naturally dispossessed to pay less attention to others, and also is much more willing to interpret things in their way that suit them. For example, if you say something like, "I will think about it," or maybe, they might take it as yes later and act accordingly. So in everything that you said, you must say, "I'm saying no to you abusing me emotionally. I'm saying no for you abusing me financially. I'm saying no for you abusing me physically," if it goes that far. And also said, I'm saying also no to this friendship or to this relationship if it will continue like this. I'm pulling out. I cannot stay like this. I cannot continue being in a friendship or in a relationship with someone who doesn't value how I feel, or someone who doesn't value how I think or how I do things. So those are some of the things that you must say to him. So our number 1, remember, we said set your priorities. Our number 2, we said document. And we said create a report. And number 4, we said do not overpray him. Number 5, we said clearly say no. So number 6 goes like this: don't get abusive. Don't get abusive. The first step is to keep your cool. This is not always simple, but it can be important that way. You won't give the other person ammunition to use against you, and might be able to avoid escalating the conflict. So even if you are feeling yourself, you are getting angry, focus on a few key aspects. Don't yell or raise your voice. Don't use any insulted threats. or excessive rude language. Otherwise,